The prize money for winning the Champions League is usually somewhere between 80 to 100 million euros, so the rich keep getting richer. But in this video, I thought we'd give some of the poorer clubs a chance at winning big money by putting them in the Champions League instead. So this is how it's gonna work. Here you see the 5 La Liga teams who are currently in the Champions League, and now here you see the 5 poorest teams from La Liga. So we're going to take a rich team from their group and replace them with a poor one. So as an example, here in Group C, we're going to replace Real Madrid with Deportivo Alaves. And then you can tell how this is gonna work. Las Palmas will be replacing Barcelona, Cadiz will be replacing Atletico, Granada will be replacing Real Sociedad, and Rayo Vallecano will be replacing Sevilla. Then moving on to the Premier League, we've got Manchester City valued at 1.26 billion. They're the most valuable team by market value. So just to note, I'm recording this video on November the 18th, so these are the values on Transfermarkt at the time of recording. Then you've got Arsenal, who are, I think, the second highest valued team. And then you've got Manchester United, followed by Newcastle. On the flip side, you've got Luton only valued at 87 million, Sheffield United's 155 million, Burnley's 256, and then Fulham is 304 million euros. So Luton Town is going to replace Manchester City in Group G. Arsenal's getting replaced by Sheffield United in Group B. In Group A, we'll have Burnley replacing Manchester United, and then taking Newcastle's place in Group F will be Fulham. Moving on to the Bundesliga, we've got 4 teams from there as well. Bayern Munich, the most valuable. Then you've got Leipzig, Borussia Dortmund, and then Union Berlin. The teams that will be replacing them only valued at 39.5 million euros. Darmstadt, then you've got Heidenheim, Bochum, and then Werder Bremen. So Darmstadt goes into Group A, Heidenheim goes into Group G, Bochum goes into Group F, and Werder Bremen goes into Group C. Now moving on to Italy, in Serie A, you've got 4 teams participating: Napoli, Inter, AC Milan, and Lazio. The first 3 teams are pretty evenly valued. Then you've got Lazio at 280 million, and the teams that will be replacing them are Frosinone Calcio, Cagliari, Lecce, and Hellas Verona. The top 3 have a 500 million euro market value difference. That's crazy. I mean, not to say the Premier League was any different. 1 billion euro difference value between Manchester City and Luton. That's nuts. But regardless, that's why we're doing this video. Frosinone goes into Group C, Cagliari is replacing Inter in Group D, Lecce goes into Group F, replacing AC Milan, and then Hellas Verona is going into Group E, replacing Lazio. Now moving on to Ligue 1 and Eredivisie. I was surprised Ligue 1 only has 2 teams participating in the Champions League because Marseille failed to qualify apparently. Regardless, we've got PSG valued over 1 billion euros. Then you've got RC Lens valued at 200 million. Eredivisie also has 2 clubs, Feyenoord and PSV. They're also valued over 200 million euros. And then these are the replacements: FC Metz valued at 37 million, Clermont Foot valued at 51 million. Then in the Netherlands, you've got teams valued at 11 and 12 million, Waalwijk and Volendam. So FC Metz is going into Group F, replacing PSG, and then Clermont Foot is going into Group B, replacing Lens. In Group E, we'll have Waalwijk replacing Feyenoord, and then Volendam replacing PSV in Group B. And then moving over to Portugal, we've got 3 teams participating from Liga Portugal: Benfica, Porto, Braga, Benfica being the most valuable. And then on the poor side, you've got the poorest clubs so far: Estrela Amadora. Farense is valued at 11.8 million, just above them. Then you've got Casa Pia valued at 13.7 million. So Estrela Amadora goes into Group D, replacing Benfica. Going into Group H will be Farense, replacing Porto. And then Casa Pia will be going into Group C, replacing Braga. And then finally, the remaining 8 clubs: Galatasaray, Copenhagen, Salzburg, Celtic, Crvena Zvezda, Young Boys, Shakhtar, and Antwerp. These are their values. And the teams replacing them: Istanbulspor, Vidovre, Blau-Weiss Linz, Kilmarnock. Then in place of Red Star Belgrade, I just picked the poorest team in the rest of the world, which is HJK Helsinki. For Young Boys, you've got Winterthur. And then in place of Shakhtar, we've got the only other Ukrainian club that's in FC24, Dynamo Kiev. And lastly, replacing Antwerp is Sint-Truidense. I hope I pronounced that right. So Istanbulspor is going into Group A, replacing Galatasaray. Hvidovre is also going into Group A, replacing Copenhagen. Then we have Blau-Weiss Linz replacing Salzburg in Group D. Kilmarnock is replacing Celtic in Group E. Helsinki is going into Group G. FC Winterthur is also going into Group G. Then in Group H, Dynamo Kiev is going to replace Shakhtar, and Antwerp's getting replaced by STVV. So these are the final groups for the poor edition of the Champions League. Which one of these teams do you think will win? Do you support any of them? Let me know in the comments. And then if you've enjoyed the video so far, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Now, let's see who's made it out of their group. All right, in Group A, we've got Burnley Burnley and Istanbulspor making it through to the round of 16. Istanbulspor and Hvidovre are tied in points as well as goal difference, so the tiebreaker went to Istanbulspor because they won their second match 2-1. The first match was a draw. Darmstadt only got 4 points, which is surprising because their market value is 3 times of Istanbulspor. Moving on to Group B, we've got Rayo Vallecano topping it, and then Clermont Foot finished second. Sheffield United is out. They only managed to get 5 points. The funny thing is Rayo Vallecano and Clermont Foot's values added up don't even make Sheffield United's team value. Then in Group C, we've got Werder Bremen topping at 15 points. Frosinone coming in second with 9 points. That was a close one. Casapi and Deportivo Alaves both finished with 6 points. Frosinone and Alaves's values were pretty close, so Frosinone took this one. Moving on to Group D, we've got Granada undefeated 6-4-6, and then Cagliari finishing second. This was pretty expected. Estrela Amadora got 6 points. Blau Weislins, they were pretty unvaluable as well. They got 0 points. Then in Group E, we've got Hellas Verona. The Italian side also went 6-4-6. Then Cadiz finished second with 10 points. Very expected. Group E, Kilmarnock only 3 points. Valvik 2 points. Then in Group F, we've got Fulham topping it. Metz finishing second. And a huge disappointment from Lecce. They were valued at over 80 million euros. Metz is only in the 30s and Bochum was in the 60s or 70s, I believe. Then in Group G, we've got Luton undefeated topping the group. And look at Helsinki, the team with a market value of only 8 million euros, tops Heidenheim, who were 39.5, I believe. So Helsinki's off to the round of 16. And then Group H, you've got Dynamo Kiev topping it. Las Palmas came in a close second. Farense and STVV each with 7 points. Las Palmas almost blew it, but at the end of the day, the 2 most valuable clubs in this group went on to the round of 16. Now, in the round of 16, these are the pairings. Las Palmas versus Fulham, Helsinki versus Rayo Vallecano, Frosinone versus Granada, Cadiz versus Dynamo Kiev, and then Metz will be playing against Burnley, Clermont Foot against Hellas Verona, Istanbulspor versus Werder Bremen, Cagliari versus Luton. Let's sim the round of 16 and see who's off to the quarterfinals. Alright, the results are in. Fulham beats out Las Palmas 4-1 on aggregate. Rayo Vallecano gets past Helsinki 6-4, so Helsinki, the surprising side, is out. And then Granada went past Frosinone comfortably 5-2 on aggregate. You've got Cadiz taking out Dynamo Kiev. No surprises with Burnley against Metz. Burnley goes through. Hellas Verona took out Clermont Foot 5-3. And then Werder Bremen versus Istanbulspor went to penalties, but the Germans are through. Luton Town versus Cagliari also went to penalties, and Cagliari are moving on to the quarterfinals. Now the pairings. It's Fulham versus Cadiz, Granada versus Cagliari, Werder Bremen versus Hellas Verona, and then Rayo Vallecano versus Burnley. In this round, Fulham are the richest club. They're valued at 304 million. Then Burnley is 254. You've got 3 Spanish sides, 2 Italian teams, and a German team. Cagliari are the poorest, valued at around 70 million. Alright, the quarterfinal results are in, and as you can see, Fulham, the highest valued team, are out. Cadiz knocks them out 2-1 on aggregate. And then Cagliari, the poorest team, knocks out Granada 5-3 on aggregate. Hellas Verona versus Werder Bremen, and Hellas Verona went through. And then Burnley are also out because Rayo Vallecano took that one 4-3 on aggregate. Burnley were the second highest valued team, so English teams have been knocked out. For the semi-finals, you've got an all-Spanish matchup, Rayo Vallecano versus Cadiz, and then you've got an all-Italian matchup, Verona versus Cagliari. Alright, we're gonna quick sim these matches together. So the first one, Rayo Vallecano versus Cadiz. Rayo Vallecano wins it 2-0. Then the next match is Hellas Verona versus Cagliari. Quick simming this one, and it goes to Hellas Verona at home 3-2. And now we've got the return leg for the same matchup. Which Italian side is going into the final? Let's see. And it's Hellas Verona on aggregate. So Cagliari had it 2-1 going into extras, and Hellas Verona was the only side that scored in extras. So they're through. And I believe they've gone undefeated so far. So the poorest team is out now between Cadiz and Rayo Vallecano. Cadiz is valued at 59 million. Rayo Vallecano are 83. Rayo have the advantage. Quick simming the return leg, and Rayo Vallecano are in the finals. Now, before playing the finals, let's check out the player stats. La Padula will probably win the Golden Boot unless Lazovic or Palazon somehow get a hat-trick in the final. Top assists is Yankto and Sardar from Hellas Verona. And then the top goalkeeper so far is Ferreira, but Dimitrevski has a chance to tie him. And now we're at Wembley for this final. It's Rayo Vallecano versus Hellas Verona. Will it go to the Spanish or will it go to the Italians? 89 million euro side versus an 83 million euro side. Let's see which side is about to double their club value. The Italians are attacking first. Engonge passes it to Henry and he scores! Already, it's 1-0. 8 minutes gone by. Great run from Engonge and great first-time effort from Henry, the French striker, and he makes it 1-0. That was a shocker for Rayo Vallecano, who kicked things off again. Let's see if they can respond. Here they are on the attack. Pathesis to Raul de Tomas. Valentin, and what a save from Montipo. Here's Lazovic, the man who's looking for a hat-trick. He's the left winger. Lazovic brought it up the field, turns back to Serdar. Now it's Henry, but he lost the ball. Here's Alvaro, Trejo. Rayo Vallecano looking dangerous, but Verona defense is solid. Espino looking to cross. Espino turns back to Alvaro Garcia. Alvaro Garcia with the cross. Hien clears it. Henry all the way at the back helping his defense. What a player. Here's Lazovic. Look at this attack. Lazovic, he's looking for a hat trick himself, but he misses just wide of the far post. And the first half comes to an end. Verona look to be the better side. Rayo Vallecano not getting much done. Will it be much of the same in the second half? Let's see. This is a great run from Alvaro Garcia, who leaves it for Raul de Tomas. And it's Alvaro Garcia again. He dribbles past the defender, but not being able to do much with it. That was a good pass though. Now it's Oscar Valentin. Serdar blocks it and Verona clear. Espino to Alvaro Garcia. Can Rayo Vallecano get a goal here? Espino. Alvaro, this looks promising. He's got 2 men or 3 players in the box. That's a good pass. Trejo, but Montipo, what a save. Save of the match so far. Trejo on the ball. Trejo crossing it. Can they get ahead on this? No, it's Sapanora, but they'll be on the attack still. Alvaro Garcia, he's carried the ball really good, but Henry, look at that. Scoring goals, making tackles. Henry doing everything he can, and he has the ball right here. Henry finds Engong. That final pass doesn't get through, but Engong has the ball again. Henry, and Espino will take it away from him. Now, Rayo Vallecano all alone here. Alvaro Garcia and Montipo makes yet another save. But I think that was offside, actually. So, it's the 87th minute. Rayo Vallecano missing chance after chance in the second half. Now, Verona on the attack. It's Serdar, the through ball. Lazovic shoots. Dimitrievski, good save. But it's a little too late because there's only 1 minute added on. And Verona will take this one with a single goal. We said at the beginning of the video that the winner of the Champions League receives somewhere between 80 to 100 million euros. And Verona's club value is right between those two figures at 89 million. So they have just doubled their club value. They are the winners of the poor edition of the Champions League. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you watched it this far, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to watch this one as well. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.